Hi everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys with a new video obviously, and it is currently, well, filming this beginning of October, which means there's not that many months left of this year, and I had as a reading goal this year to finish 15 series. As of right now I've finished 2, almost 3. So it's going really badly, so I just thought I would tell you guys what series I want to finish this year, and hopefully I will be able to finish enough to be able to reach 15, but right now it feels kind of far off. But yeah, we're going to make it a try, and I don't even know how many series I have written down here, so we're just going to count it. So I've written down 19 series actually, and it's not as if I'm that far off of reading 15 series or anything, but I thought I would just tell you guys what series they are, because these are kind of series that I have started like past few years and I haven't finished them yet. A few series on this list I will have like 1 or 2 books left, and then some I have quite a few more, but let's get to it. So the first series I am currently working on finish is the Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. I am, as of October, trying to read book 4 in the series, Beyond the Kingdoms. There's a total of 6 books, and I'm planning to pretty much read 1 book a month until the year is over, and then I will hopefully finish book 6 as well. And this is such a magical story about a set of twins ending up in the fairy tale world where they meet different princesses from these stories, and I really love this series so much. It's such a quick read and it's so eventful, a lot of cliffhangers, and book 3 definitely ended with a cliffhanger, so I'm really looking forward to jumping into book 2. So as I said, I have 3 books left as of filming this one. Then I have The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. I have 2 books left in this trilogy, but since you have to read sort of the Mortal Instruments and then The Infernal Devices kind of every other book, that's the reason why I haven't finished either of those series. But I felt like The Infernal Devices, the first book, Clockwork Angel, was kind of so-so for me. I mean, I gave it 3 stars and I did enjoy it, but I didn't love it or anything like that, and I don't really understand like the major hype for it, which is why also another reason I haven't continued on with the series. But I'm just gonna really try, because I mean, they are shadow hunters, they are vampires and everything like that, and I do like that stuff, I really do. So I really hope that I will like book 2 more, but this is definitely a series I need to pick up like right away. And then of course, since I already mentioned it, I'm going to try to finish The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. And as I said, haven't finished it because I need to read The Infernal Devices in between, and I'm not really loving that series. The Mortal Instruments I'm definitely liking a lot more, although I did read the 4th book not that long ago, and I think it was September or August possibly that I read the 4th book, which I can't remember the name of right now. City of Fallen Angels was it? And I didn't love that book. I really enjoyed book 1, 2 and 3, but book 4 it was kind of feeling like more of a filler between book 3 and 5, so wasn't really loving it. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars possibly. Like I said, shadow hunters, vampires, werewolves, whatever you want. I'm really looking forward to continuing the series, and hopefully book 5 will be back to where I thought book 3 was, like in the high quality of things, but we'll see. So obviously I have 2 books left in the series. Now we have the Firebird Trilogy by Claudia Gray. This is a trilogy, like I said, and I only have 1 book left, and the problem between these books, I'm really liking this trilogy so much, but I've just taken such long pauses in between each book, meaning that I kind of forget details and stuff like that, meaning also that I kind of push it even further back on the back burner because I know I don't remember all the details, which is stupid because that makes it even worse. Yeah, I only have 1 book left, and I'm really enjoying this story so far. It's about this girl named Margaret, and her parents are these scientists, and they invent something called the Firebird, meaning that if you have one, you can actually travel through different dimensions. So if I put on the Firebird, I can travel to a different dimension where I'm still me, but I have a completely different life, and you don't know about the other person and stuff like that. And Margaret actually Margaret's dad is actually killed, and she suspects her parents' assistant Paul of doing the crime, and he takes one of the Firebirds, disappears into a different dimension, and Margaret goes after him. So that's pretty much where the first book starts off, and I'm really enjoying it. The different dimensions are awesome. So far, the first book in the series is definitely my favorite because I liked the dimensions more than that one. But yeah, I really like this series overall, so I'm really looking forward to finishing it off. Then we have Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. As of filming this, I am currently working my way through Queen of Shadows, meaning book 4 in the series. And there's 7 books, I believe, right? So I have a bit left to read. I'm only like 1/4 into the 4th book, so I have a lot left. But this is a very beloved series by a lot of people because Selena Sardathian and her being an assassin, and she has to become being in this sort of tournament to be able to become the king's assassin and stuff like that. And I did really like the first 2 books, and the 3rd book I thought was a little bit of a letdown. I was a little bit bored. And then 4th book, I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. And that might be because I've taken such a long break between book 3 and book 4. But hopefully I will get into it more. It's definitely like some shit going on. So hopefully I will enjoy it. But like I said, I'm on book 4 out of 7. Passenger Duology by Alexandra Bracken. This is 2 books, like I said, and I haven't started it even, so I don't even know if I like this book series or not. But I only know that it's a time traveling series. But also it's 2 books. So, I mean, should be quick, right? And then we have The Arc of a Scythe by Neil Schusterman. This is a trilogy I'm loving so much. And the 3rd and final book, The Toll, is supposed to come out in the beginning of November. I want to say November 5th. Or is it 8th? I don't know. I think it's 5th. I don't know. It's the beginning of November. I read book 1 and 2 quite far apart from each other, but I loved From the Head, the 2nd book, so much, and it ends with such a cliffhanger, and it was so hard to predict what's going to come, and I am dying because I need book 3 right away. So this one is definitely a series I'm going to finish 100% because I need to get my hands off that book. And then we have the Royal series by Rachel Hawkins. I've read the 1st book. I am currently making my way through the 2nd book, which is sort of a companion novel, and I'm a little bit more than halfway through as of filming this video, so hopefully I'll be able to finish it actually today. So then I would have finished the first of the 19 series I've got on this list. So yeah, hopefully it will happen. And we have the Strange to Dreamy Duology by Laini Taylor. I did read the 1st book a long time ago, and now I just need to read Muse of Nightmares to be able to complete the duology. And I'm really enjoying the first. I really enjoyed the 1st book so much. I really love her writing style. It's really magical and really beautiful, as is the story, and it's also very different from anything I've read before, which is what I like about the series. So I'm really hoping that Muse of Nightmares will live up to my expectations. I'm a little bit worried, but we'll see how it goes. But in this one, we pretty much meet this guy named Laszlo Strange, and he's dedicating most of his life to finding out stuff about the city called Weep. Weep is actually not the city's real name because everybody's forgotten the real name of the place, and Laszlo Strange actually gets the opportunity to join this sort of caravan that's going over to Weep and try to help people living there and stuff. And shit goes down and it goes crazy, and it's so magical and beautiful, and I really love the 1st book, so hopefully Muse of Nightmares will live up to my expectations and actually the hype too. I have another series by Laini Taylor, and that is Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and there's 3 books in this trilogy, obviously. I haven't read a single one. I did try a chapter tag from the 1st book, like, I don't know, 2 years ago or something, and I read the 1st chapter, but I ended up choosing a different book, I believe. I don't know, I'm really bad at finishing try chapter books. Anyways, I read the 1st chapter. I didn't end up reading that book, and I haven't picked it up since. I've heard a little bit mixed things about that series since, mostly positive, but also some that I feel it was not as good as Strange to Dreamers Duology, so I don't really know what to expect. I don't really remember anything about the series, but I just want to read more Laini Taylor, and I've said for so many years that I'm going to finish this trilogy, and I haven't even read the 1st book, so it's pretty bad, but I'm going to make like an effort here. I'm going to finish all 3 books because I have to. Immortals by Tamar Pierce. This is a middle grade series. It's a quartet actually, so it's 4 books. I started reading the 1st book a long time ago, like maybe a year ago, I think. I don't know, but it's a middle grade, so I feel like it would be a quick series. I don't really know anything about it. I know it's about this girl that she can speak to animals, I think, or at least horses. So I really like what I read from it. I read like 25-30 pages or something, and since it's a middle grade series, I'm thinking that I will fly through it because it will be a quick read, because I did fly through the first few pages that I read of it. So yeah, 4 books to finish there. I have Orange, which is a manga series. I read the first complete collection of it, meaning the first 3 manga in the series, and now I have the second complete collection of it, which I'm guessing is 3 more in it. So I'm not that far off with this one. It's definitely a hunker because it's thick as hell, but I mean, it's 3 mangas wrapped into one. And I really enjoyed the first 3 mangas, so I'm hoping that this one will live up to my expectations as well. This is about a girl named Nahu, and she actually ends up getting a letter from the future telling her what is going to happen and what she would like to make her past self change about it. And it was really heartfelt and really like beautiful illustrations, and I really like the characters, and I just want to know what's going to happen because there's so many feels right now. But yeah, 3 mangas left. And then we have the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. I actually finished the first book in, I want to say September, I think September. So I have 2 books left because this is actually a trilogy. This is about Princess Leia. She's 70 years old and she's actually been promised away to this man, and she's supposed to marry him. But since she's 17, she's not ready to get married. She doesn't want to get married to someone she's never met before, and definitely not wanting to do it because of politics. So she actually ends up going away, she escapes, and they send an assassin and the prince after her. And the thing about this book is that you don't really know who's who, which technically drives me crazy, but I did enjoy the book, so I'm looking forward to reading book 2. The Issy O'Neill duology by Lauren Stevens, and this is about a girl that actually gets sort of slut shamed because there's like pictures and stuff circulating on the internet where she is actually doing stuff with a politician's son, and she's getting slut shamed because she's a girl and he gets nothing because he's a guy and also a little bit like sort of well known. So there's 2 books in Histology. I haven't started it yet, but the plans is for me to read it in November. Now we have the Winners Trilogy by Marie Bukowski. I did read the first book a really long time ago. I really enjoyed it actually, and I started reading book 2. Did not get very far into it before I picked up something else because I wasn't feeling it at the time, and I haven't picked it up since. So I have 2 books left in this trilogy. I do own both of them, so there's really no excuses actually, but I really did enjoy the first one. I really didn't remember what it's about, so I might have to read some spoilers on the first book to be able to get caught up, but it's fine, I'll do it. And then we have Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmerer. This is also a duology. I haven't started this yet, but I mean, it's contemporary, so I feel like it would be a quick read, hopefully. But this main character's mother is actually died, and she writes letters to her and put them at her grave telling her different stuff that has happened to her. And one day there's actually this guy who actually answers her letters, and they start this sort of weird communication things through letters, and shit goes down. And now we have Monstret Frank by Mats Strandberg and Sofia Falkhem, and this is actually a sort of a children's story. I think it's between the ages 6 and 9, and this is about this little guy who actually ends up dreaming that he's this sort of monster, and one day when he wakes up it turns out that maybe it wasn't just a dream. But I really like the illustrations in this one. I love Mats Strandberg's writing. I've read a lot of him before, never a children's book though, so I'm a little bit curious, but I've heard great things about this series and I'm looking forward to reading it. But like I said, it's a trilogy. I haven't read a single one of them, but I do think it would be a very quick read. And we have the 3rd and final book of Mirasol Gap by Anna Nuslin. This is a trilogy I started a long time ago. I really enjoyed the first 2 books. The second book ended with sort of a cliffhanger, and I just need to find out what happens. I did read the first chapter in the 3rd book during a try a chapter tag that I did recently, but I haven't continued on with it yet because I didn't end up choosing that book at the time. But that is the last book in that series, and I really want to read it, and I think it will be a quick read because you usually fly through Anna Sleen's books, and also it's just a quick read, you know. Then the 19th and final series on this list is Death Note. And I've started reading this manga in September, and I really loved it so much. I read the first 2 volumes in it. I do own volumes 3 and 4 so far. I've ordered more that is on the way, and I'm flying through this series so quickly, and I really want to continue on with it. But this pretty much is about this guy named Light, and he ends up finding this death note just lying on the ground. And the thing with this death note is that if you write someone's name in it, and you know, maybe how you want them to die, they'll end up dying in the exact time you wanted them to die. If you don't write down the cause of death, they'll just die from a heart attack. And Light pretty much takes it upon himself to try to rid the world of evil, but maybe the world isn't as black and white as he originally thought. Really loving this manga, and I really look forward to continuing on with it. So yeah, those were all of the 19 series that I have started and I've been wanting to finish for a while now. Like I said, I finished 2.5 kind of series out of the 15 I promised myself I would do. So I'll definitely read a lot of books on this list. Probably not gonna end up finishing all of them. Like, I'm pretty sure I won't, but that does not mean that I'm not going to try. So, you know, I see it as a challenge. I do. So yeah, please let me know down below some series that you want to finish or you have finished this year maybe, and please let me know if you read any of the books I mentioned and what you thought about them, without spoiling anyone of course. And yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little button down below. And yeah, I hope we see each other in the next one. Bye!